Alright, this is the YouTube version of Chapter 4 Key. Number 1 says, all but one of them of the following statements has a blunder. Which one does not have a blunder? Well, the first one says that you are comparing a position, and that's categorical, so that's out. You have to have quantitative compared to quantitative. The third one, C, says that you found a correlation, and it says it has a unit, gallons per pound. You cannot have a unit when it comes to correlation either. So B is correct. Number 2, a statistical student computes the correlation between two variables in her spreadsheet. She finds the R value is 0.06. She decides to conclude that there is no relationship. Is she correct? And the answer is yes. We know that 0 means no correlation. We know that -1 and 1 are a perfect correlation. And 0.6 is so far removed from -1 and 1 that is pretty much considered a no, because there's not much strength there at all. So it's so low that one can consider it as being no, even though it's not negative. Number 3, which plot indicates a correlation of 0.7? Now, C has a pretty good correlation, but it's negative, so we can't do that one. It's between A and B, and B is correct, because A is pretty tight. That's probably going to be closer to a 0.9. I'm going to do number 5 next, because 4 is a bit more work. But number 5 is to explain which one's the explanatory variable when you're comparing miles per gallon and size. Well, one can argue that it's engine, because the engine size, if it's big, probably has lower gas mileage, and vice versa. But one can also argue that, well, if I have higher gas mileage, I probably have a smaller engine, and vice versa. So because they are both potentially causational, if you go out to buy a car and you look for high gas mileage, that will decide what engine size you get. If you go out and look for a car and want an engine size, then that's going to dictate what your gas mileage is. So again, they could be interchanged, and because of that, C is the right answer. Now number 4 is with your calculator, and that is going to, and I'll do this and punch it in. Get out of there. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go to Stat, Edit. I'm going to clear my 2 calculations I have. And I'm going to put in SAT first. So 1070, 1040, 1120, 1020, 1260, 960. Oops, sorry about that. Cal Priggy, who's that? Okay, and what was I? 960, and then a 990, 1060, and 1010. Next list, making sure they line up. 3.5, 2.66, 3.54, 3.0, 3.41, 2.0, 1.66, 3.3, 2.5. We go to Stat, Calculate, and it's not 2 variable, even though there are 2 variables. We want to find correlation, so we go to linreg, or linear regression. And it's list 1 and 2 naturally, so I can just go enter, and it is R, not the R squared, but R is what we're looking for. and 0.7 is one of our choices. And there we go. If you do not have the R when you do linreg, you need to go to second function, catalog, go down to D. It's alphabetical, so I'm going to push the letter D here, and scroll down to diagnostics on. If I click that and enter again, I will get the R value from this point on. Okay, so the answer for that one is A. This concludes the Chapter 4 practice quiz key, and I hope it helps.